What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Tariffs from the U.S., fluctuating currency exchange rates, and AI. Taiwan's business environment has grown turbulent in recent months as challenges mount for the country's entrepreneurs. To answer some of the most pressing questions Taiwanese business will face, industry and government leaders gathered in Taipei to discuss these recent trends. What to do in an ever-changing and volatile trade environment? That's what Taiwanese business leaders from all over the world are discussing at an economic forum here in Taipei. The country currently faces a growing number of business challenges, from U.S. President Donald Trump's potential tariff levies on Taiwanese goods to widely fluctuating currency exchange rates that have significant implications for the country's export-dependent economy. Businesses here are facing strong headwinds. So it's no surprise that tariffs and exchange rates took center stage at this forum. Beyond that, though, was a discussion about AI and leveraging Taiwan's tech prowess to maintain a competitive edge. One of Wednesday's speakers was the chair of Taiwan's External Trade Development Council and former Foreign Minister James Huang.
就算川普2.0，我相信这个对台商企业来讲，这个也不是一个我们不能面对的这个挑战，而且说不定我们在川普2.0的时候，还能够把台湾推向一个更高峰，创造另外一个经济奇迹。
These external challenges come at a time when internal divisions are dominating the country's political landscape as well. Next weekend, 24 lawmakers from Taiwan's main opposition Kuomintang will face recall votes. Campaigns for and against the recalls are sowing deep divisions among the public. But new Taipei City Mayor Hou Youyi of the KMT called for unity in the interest of the economy here at the forum.
尤其在现这一段在大罢免的时刻，我觉得台湾应该放下所谓是对立的冲突，好好的把经济搞好。台湾唯有经济才是最重要的一条路，唯有顾好民生、照顾人民的生活，才是我们该走的路。
The forum will go on for the next 3 days. The hope is that with so many enterprising minds from all around the world in the same space, they can find some clarity moving forward in a tumultuous world. Scott Huang and Liao in Taipei for TaiwanPlus. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has reiterated that his government opposes any change to the status quo in the Taiwan Strait.
What we do is continue to support a one China policy. We support the status quo. By definition, we don't support any unilateral action on Taiwan. That's been our position for a long period of time.
It's the second time Albanese has made such comments on his 6-day visit to China, his country's top trading partner. It comes after the Financial Times reported that the U.S. has been pressing Australia to clarify what it would do if the U.S. and China went to war over Taiwan. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has praised China's open-source AI industry during a visit to Beijing.
China's open-source AI is a catalyst for global progress, giving every country and industry a chance to join the AI revolution.
Huang is in China meeting with business and political leaders. His visit comes as the company announced the U.S. government will allow sales of Nvidia's H20 AI chip in China. That's despite a previous ban on China getting advanced AI chips under U.S. export controls. Open-source AI models from Chinese companies like DeepSeek and Moonshot have shown cutting-edge performance at low costs, but some have expressed data privacy and security concerns. For more on the H20's comeback in China, reporter Chris Gorin spoke to Marco Mesger of the Neumonde Technology Group.
Nvidia says that the U.S. government has changed course and will now allow them to sell their H20 AI chip in China, more or less reversing a previous ban on those chips being exported to China. Were you surprised to hear about this reversal?
Yeah, it was an interesting move, and I think, of course, initiated by Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia. Yes, I was surprised. but actually not too much. But in reality, if you look the practicality of this solution, it makes, from my point of view, really sense to open this up, not only for Nvidia, but for AMD also, and for other Western companies, because the market is extremely big. And Jensen Huang is not a politician or a party member. He's a businessman. He has stakeholders, he has shareholders, and he needs to have a story that he is continue to thrive.
Yeah, and let's just remind the audience, what exactly is the H20 chip and why is it so important to US-China AI competition?
Okay, the H20 is kind of a restricted chip version of the newest Nvidia chips. So this means they have not so much bandwidth, not so much teraflops power. And in this regards, they are not like the full high-end chips, what you see, which go to Meta, Google, Facebook, or to other companies in the Western world. They are similar to some of the China competitors. And I give you an idea about the market, what is expected in China. I think Jensen Huang just recently mentioned this also. He expects the market to be for chips, AI chips in China in 2026, around about $50 billion. And I think for them, it's also like an opportunity with their software system to have good control of the whole supply chain and keep the opportunities in China alive. And by the way, it's not only Nvidia, also AMD is a beneficiary of this new regulation which just came out recently.
And how might this affect Taiwan's semiconductor industry? The H20 and maybe some of these AMD chips are made by TSMC, right?
Yes. I think TSMC is the largest supplier of Nvidia for this chip, and the whole ecosystem in Taiwan is thriving because of this, right? So TSMC revenue continuously go up; they are a big beneficiary. But in reality, if you look from a perspective of revenue growth and dynamics, there is another interesting segment in Taiwan, which is growing very strong. So these are the companies like Vivin, Wistron, Compal, ASRock. So these are companies who are building these whole systems together for global data centers. Yeah? So I think for Taiwan, of course, it's from a pure commercial point of view, it's a good aspect because there's more revenue, more foundry services needed in order to serve more global markets for AI.
That was Marco Mesger of Neumonda Technology Group. The military has been in and out of some of the country's major cities as it conducts urban warfare exercises, part of the annual Kuang drills. Jaime Okan has this update.
A quick pit stop for these soldiers in northern Taiwan as they conduct maintenance on a tank. It might not be the flashiest of drills, but it's skills like these that will make the difference in a combat scenario. A lot of these drills are making use of public spaces like temples and schools to gather and store munitions. This high school in northern Taiwan is serving as a mini base for soldiers in Taoyuan.
那我们孩子可以感受到更多的这个国家认同以及国家安全的重要性哦。那这是我们桃园高中在为国防安全能够尽的一份力。
This is day 8 of Taiwan's largest ever military exercises, known as the Huang, which simulates how the country would defend against a full-scale attack from China. Huang ends on Friday, and the final few days will focus on an attack deep inland, simulating the worst-case scenario, an enemy landing and making inroads into Taiwan. That's why analysts say having a backup plan is crucial for the country's defense.
这周边的区域构筑了逐次防御的阵地，也预化了一个歼敌的区域，来引诱敌人进入我们预想的阵地，来进行集火射击。
Whether it's late-night urban warfare, coastal defense, or protecting critical infrastructure, Taiwan's military is making sure it has everything covered to prevent, or if necessary, repel a possible attack. Andy Xue, Alan Liu, and Jaime Ocon for TaiwanPlus.
Wednesday marks the second day of Taiwan's urban resilience drills being held across the country. The drills were carried out in Kaohsiung and Pingtung in southern Taiwan, aimed at enhancing local government's response capabilities and helping the public better understand what to do in an emergency. The drills are being held alongside Taiwan's annual Kuang military exercises and will continue until Friday. Taiwan is seeing a spike in Chinese military activity as it holds its largest annual military exercise. On Wednesday morning, the Defense Ministry says it detected 38 Chinese military aircraft operating near the country. 28 of those aircraft entered Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. This area isn't Taiwan's airspace, but acts as a buffer zone for defensive purposes. The ministry says it monitored the situation. It's been over a week since Typhoon Danas hit Taiwan, killing 2 and causing severe damage across Taiwan's central and southern west coast. But as the government estimates losses to be in the millions, efforts to rebuild are already underway. EC Wells has more.
In Tainan, pomelo farmers and alternative service conscripts scramble to recover what they can of one of the crops hardest hit by Typhoon Danas. Government estimates of agricultural losses from the storm have climbed to nearly $95 million across Taiwan. It's left the country's south in particular reeling as residents embark on the long road to recovery.
最主要的工作当然是协助我们这次损失最惨重的柚子捡拾落果还有清扫环境这部分。
Tainan City has suffered the most, with damage estimated at over $30 million, followed by Jiayi County, which has seen around $24 million in losses. And as the cleanup operation continues, the Interior Minister has announced disaster relief funds, ranging from $850 to $3,400 for affected households in disaster areas. While the funds await the Cabinet's approval, the Labour Ministry is kickstarting a temporary work programme for over 1,700 local residents in Yunling, Jiayi and Tainan to help with recovery efforts.
云林地区我们有核给198个工作机会，工作津贴以每小时最低工资190元来核给，最高每个月会核发到28590元整。
And while it's been all hands on deck for both residents and emergency repair workers, Typhoon Danas's departure wasn't the final tragedy in the south. On Tuesday, a Taipower employee was electrocuted while working to restore power to households in Jiayi County. Now on life support, he was visited by President Lai Ching-te on Thursday. The government wished him a speedy recovery.
没有电，大家没有办法过日子，但是我们的这个台电的同仁都非常的辛苦，大家也看得到了。现在大家都是希望让他可以早日康复。
As residents clear debris and repair crews work around the clock, the toll of Typhoon Danas continues to surface. With lives disrupted and recovery only just beginning, the storm leaves behind not just physical damage, but a lasting test of resilience for communities across southern Taiwan. Howard Chang and Izzy Wells for TaiwanPlus.
Prosecutors in Taipei are investigating a university women's soccer coach over allegations he pressured student athletes to donate blood for a study. It comes after lawmakers slammed an education ministry decision to suspend the coach for 2 years, calling the punishment too light. She reportedly threatened to withhold credits, kick students off the team, or delay their graduation if they did not participate in the study. The Education Ministry has also fined the leaders of the study around $17,000 each and banned them from applying for government research grants for 1 year. Collecting blood for research purposes is illegal in Taiwan. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, let's take a look at the Gianni Versace Retrospective, a new London exhibition featuring over 450 iconic pieces designed by the fashion label's founder. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and see you next time.